Welcome to Story Route Zero.
This is a podcast where friends gather to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the strange worlds of video games. We often don't know where we're going, but that's half the fun. Come on the journey with us. Hit us up on Twitter at StoryRoute0. You can send us an email at StoryRoute0@gmail.com. That includes questions, concerns, comments, complaints, pet pics. Send us some recipes. Send us some stories about your day. We're going to listen.
Podcast, start your engines. We have liftoff. Let's have a journey.
Happy 9th birthday to the Vita launch in North America. This is our 56th episode. Can't believe they haven't taken us down yet.
Wow. 56.
56.
Jesus. That's insanity.
Yeah. This is Story Route Zero. I'm one of your hosts, Jason. Joining me, Moose and Michaela. How's everything going?
It's going well. How about you, man? You have a good day?
Not bad for a Monday.
Ditto.
Got my ice storm warning on my phone repeatedly, because that's always something you want to. Ice storm. Yes. Although I saw a video of people in Texas and they're like freaking out because like their car doors are frozen shut. They don't know what to do. And then someone put in the hyenas from Lion King, and it's like, shut up, Ed.
I need to see that.
That's funny.
Northeast were like, yeah, it's winter. Kind of, it's annoying, but yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah. We just got rain. Nothing but rain.
Yeah, my sister said it's been pouring like for all week.
And it just picked up like earlier tonight. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm tired of it. Tired of the rain.
We're supposed to get freezing rain tomorrow because it's going to be like 2 degrees too warm to be snowing. It's just going to be fucking cold and raining.
We're supposed to get freezing rain, ice, and then it's supposed to be warm, which is a recipe for disaster, because all that's going to melt and then freeze again. And How was everyone's weekend? Weekend. Anyone do anything adulting or fun?
Yes.
Those are mutually exclusive things.
No. Well,
I said or.
yeah, he did say any adulting or fun. Anything adulting or fun. Yeah. I did. I went and spent too much money on beer on Saturday. Got a free kick-ass mug. You know? I mean,
You know how I know you spent too much money on booze? They give you free merch.
oh, but anyways. Yeah, so Saturday was good. One of my favorite breweries released 2 beers, really good beers on the same day. So I placed an order, and then I was like on their website, and I was like, there's so many more beers that I want to try that we don't get up here, because I live about 45 minutes away from it. And so I just added more stuff to the cart. I said, check out. I messaged Kelly. She was at Walmart. I was like, all right, well, I got to go pick up the beer at Sycamore, so you can go with me or I'll go by myself. She's like, I'm almost home. I was like, sweet. So we did that. And then I didn't even know this, but Raleigh had the Raleigh Beer Garden was the largest beer garden in the world at a given point. And now there's one in Charlotte, which is now the largest beer garden in the world. And I was like, this is insanity. But there's too many beers. But we went there and had a couple beers and ate lunch with a coworker of mine. And then Yesterday was gaming. I think I did Bloodborne with Razzie. Jason, we're in the second to the last dungeon for the platinum. So we actually, anyways, I can talk about that when we do gaming. But anyways, it was a fun weekend. Michaela, did you have a good weekend?
Yes and no. Like, I played a lot of one game and I enjoyed that very much, but then all of like the real life stuff around that, which I won't get too much into, has been rough. Although I really didn't do anything Friday night. I worked out, passed out. I was just so tired, but I did play a lot of single video game this weekend.
Nice. Jason?
Nothing really. We just relaxed, unpacked more, hung a TV in the playroom.
Oh, you finally got a TV? Because I know you were talking to Matt about that, and so you picked one?
Yeah.
Cool.
They give you hardware and assume everyone has the same wall, but it never works right.
No. Mm-mm.
Here's anchors. Guess what size pilot hole you need to drill? Fuck. I've learned, so I bought my own set of anchors with its own drill bit, so I know exactly what it is.
There you go. Nice.
But yeah, mounted it. Simple. As long as the girls don't lose the remote, which could happen any day now. Still haven't found my PlayStation 5 remote. Don't know where it went. I'm sure Amelia took it, and it's probably in their toy kitchen.
I was gonna say, did you turn the kids upside down?
Where's my controller? Don't take it.
No, the controller's fine. It's the remote. But I feel like sometimes there's like interference, and I feel it's like shoved somewhere that a button's pushing. Like, and that's what's causing the random, because it dies, but then it gets enough juice to it's like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But I mean, we got 6 to 8 inches more of ice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
At least y'all still have power.
Yeah, we still have power, so
that's good. Yeah.
Although discovering new things in the house, there's a light switch, and Jess is like, what does this do? And I'm like, I have no idea. So she flipped it. Apparently it controls the outlet on the other side of the wall, which the heat is plugged into. This morning she texted me, she's like, why is it so cold in here? I'm like, I don't know. So she's going to the laundry room.
It's like, it's perfect.
Because it's off. Damn switch. I already hate light switches that control outlets, but at least those usually are visible. Like, it's in the room. You can figure out the outlet. Why would you make it on another wall in another room?
Yeah.
It's like, wonder what this does. Click, 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 click. Luckily, it's like high up. So it's not like the girls can accidentally trip it, but it's like,
yeah.
Well, now we know what that controls.
You can always put a piece of tape over it.
Just said actually put a piece of tape right. Do not touch. No touching. So that's one outlet down, 2 to go that we have no idea what light switches do. We've also found 8 outlets installed upside down in the house.
I hate that. Why? Just why?
Wait, the
So you're going to plug it in, and you're like, what the? It's upside down. Like, really, people? Really?
I wonder if they had cords for stuff they use that it was just easier. Like they always were trying to plug things in upside down, so they were just because sometimes you have those plugs that are a little heavier, you know what I mean, or whatnot, and you're like, shit, I gotta turn around. It's like USB.
Yeah, but they even completely installed the wrong way. It's like, really? And it's
that's
not like
like
you
a-
can just unscrew it and flip it because it's wired like that. It's like,
Hmm.
have to get an electrician for that. More money to spend on the house.
Don't need an electrician to do that. Let me see.
Yeah, well,
Breakers. Go. Shoot, shoot, done.
just ground myself. Don't stand near water and
Yeah.
just
Be like,
turn
Chuck,
everything
come
off.
here, hold this for me.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about games.
I was just gonna say, there's only so many things like I'll do before I'm like, all right, someone else has to do this. You know?
Well, Michaela could start because she only really played one game.
One game.
Not really. I only played one game.
Okay.
And it was East 9. Surprise!
All right. Very nice.
And I beat it today. I beat it.
Oh wow. Didn't it just come out like last week?
2 weeks.
the week
It'll be
before.
2
Okay.
weeks tomorrow.
2 weeks tomorrow.
But I didn't get it till Wednesday. So I beat it in under 2 weeks.
Beast mode engage. Congratulations.
No, not really. My playthrough was about 42 hours. It is definitely a game that could be beat in 30 hours if you just are like, meh, I don't want to engage with anything but like the main story.
Yeah.
Which is not how I play. Especially when I review a game, which was my intention from the start with this, is I usually play it on like an average level difficulty, and I do what I think the average typical person's going to engage with in the game, which is the main story and most of the accessible side content. They're not going to go 100% trying to get the platinum on the first try. They're also not going to ignore everything but the main quest line unless they're really not enjoying a game.
Yeah.
I admittedly could have finished it faster if I wasn't doing some moderate trophy hunting.
Platinum in the near future?
I am tempted by the idea of doing the platinum, but it will require a full second playthrough on one of the higher difficulty settings. It's one of those where there's a difficulty trophy where you have to beat it on nightmare difficulty. And that isn't out of the question. It just would take another 30 hours to do.
You know, there's an old movie from the 80s, and it's a buddy cop movie, and every time I look at trophy lists or trophies, I'm just like, too old for this shit. You know, Dan Glover just pops up the back of my head. It's like, I'm too old for this shit. I'm like, me and Jeff were talking about the other day, like trophies, it's just like, my God, like just I want to play games like we were talking, like Matt said he bought Blasphemous on the Switch so that he wouldn't have to worry about trophies, although we have it on PS4. And so I'm just like, I should have did that, man. You know, it's so much nicer just playing through a couple of games that don't have trophies, and it's amazing. But
yeah.
how is it like how many jumps up in difficulty is it? Is it like the next level up for you, or like are you going up a couple?
It goes like easy, normal, hard, nightmare, inferno, and then there's one above that. There's like 6 difficulty levels.
Jesus.
It's basically like when it's like we're gonna make a very hard, an ultra hard, and we only put this in here for the masochists who can't show off any other way than to play this mode of a game.
Right.
Where
the boss looks at you and you die.
Pretty much. So technically it can be done.
What was that noise?
Technically it can be done in one playthrough if you start on nightmare difficulty. You can start on nightmare. It's not one of those where it unlocks after you beat it the first time.
That's nice, so, at least.
It technically can be done in one playthrough. It would take a lot of grinding because you do need to get a character to like level 99, all that shit. Max all affinities. You would need to be using a guide so you know where everything is and how to boost character relationships and shit like that because it's an RPG. And I obviously part of it I couldn't use a guide for a lot of this because even though East 9 has been out since September 2019 in Japan, it's only been out in a localized English version for 2 weeks now. Japanese. And I don't speak Japanese. And
I don't know why not.
She calls herself an RPG.
I know. I'm an RPG fan.
Excuse you. I know some words and phrases, but I can't speak fluent fucking Japanese. But yeah, so there's not a lot, and it's also not a huge, it's not Final Fantasy 7. You know, it's a Falcom game. So it has some guides out there, and some of them are just like not complete yet. Like, you know, Neo Seeker, they've got like the first 4 or 5 chapters done at this point. But there's not a lot of guides, like easy to follow, comprehensive, how to get all the different trophy guides out there right now. So especially not when I first started. Like, there's been more like that I looked today to see how hard it would be to get certain trophies. And like a lot of this stuff has been uploaded within like the last 3 days. So guides are coming. But don't think I will go for the platinum right now. Nightmare difficulty is doable. Another playthrough is doable. I already got 67% of the trophies on the first try. It's just, there's no way I would be able to do it in a week, because Persona Strikers, whatever you want to scramble, comes out a week from tomorrow. So that's my next game. And then Bravely Default comes out that following Friday, 3 days later.
Oh, wow.
So there's just no way I would get through a second playthrough on Nightmare difficulty in a week. So I could focus on other stuff this week, like Game Club game, re-platinuming Neo 2 with the remastered version, because there's like 8 trophies that didn't pop when I transferred it over to the PS5. And it's bothering me.
Those were doable?
Yeah.
I think you said, you said you were looking at it once that happened. You're like, oh, it's weird.
I would just have to replay like 6 to 8 missions and make sure you fulfill certain criteria. It's super easy. And I was also thinking about maybe Concrete Genie, because it's been top of mind recently. It's a short game. I watched Jess play it, but I didn't play it myself because I bought it for her birthday. It released right around her birthday.
It's like 5 hours, isn't it? 5 to 10 hours.
5 to 6 hours.
Platinum. Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's like in that that ballpark, depending on how hard you want to push completing it.
Yeah, so the East 9 Platinum is a not for right now type of thing, but maybe in the future if I go back for a second playthrough. Yeah. Also, my next step is to work on the review. I am ambitiously hoping to have the review up tomorrow night before I go to bed. Right now, it looks like this.
So does Jason get to edit that?
No. Trust me, he don't want to edit this. Nightmare. My shit is long and it is weavy.
Yeah, we were talking before. My longest review since being on Obelisk is of Doom Eternal, if that says anything.
Well, you're concise and you just right to the point with everything. You're just like, let's just get to the meat and potatoes of it.
Yep. And I had to go back to 2019 to find my shortest review, which was Shadows of Adam, when it came over to the Switch. But yeah, so overall thoughts on East 9. I definitely think it's an improvement for the series. I mean, it still looks old. Like, it wouldn't look out of place on a PS3. That's kind of what you expect with Falcom games. Like, Trails of Cold Steel, East, they have that certain anime aesthetic to them where it's almost like they're purposely not next gen looking type of material. But it doesn't bother me. The way that the game improved over East 8, which is the last main numbered installment, Celceta was technically the most recent re-release, it does refine the graphics a little bit, because East 8 was originally a Vita game that came over to the PS4. But even more so than that, the small additions mechanically, where every character has their own unique gift, which adds to your traversal mechanics, your exploration mechanics, and a lot of them translate into combat mechanics as well, adds a fresh, new, just like extra flair to the same combat system that you would encounter in East 8. It felt really good. I thought 9 did a better job of handling its characters and its cast, because usually Adol is obviously your main character, and then there's a couple other characters around him. But in this case, you had a full party of 6 with their own individual backstories, and you were kind of like in the mystery of who these people were and what was happening to them right from the get-go. Whereas in East 8, it was a bit of a slow burn at first to kind of understand what was going on, who Donna was, for her to join Adol and the rest of his forming party. So I feel like this one handled pacing better. It handled its cast better. It handled its backstories better. It handled its mystery better. And I actually got surprised. I usually you can tell, like, okay, in the beginning of the game, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then you start to figure out what is going on with the game. This one actually surprised me. I was like, okay, I think I have a theory of what's happening. And then it was like, nope, you don't know what's happening. You have no idea what's going on. And in case anybody who's listening to this hasn't played East but is planning on it, I'm not going to go into what the big plot twist is. I'll just say as a hint, it suddenly turns into Full Metal Alchemist out of nowhere, and I was like, what the hell just happened in this game? But it was some really good surprises. There were some really good character payoff moments if you level up your relationship with your party members, especially. Some of it's really cute and heartfelt. Like, East is just cute, heartfelt, hokey, wholesome anime goodness. It feels kind of old, so it's a JRPG for JRPG fans. If you're not a JRPG or anime fan, this is not the game or the franchise that's going to change your mind. But if you already know you like those things, it's definitely enjoyable. I'm not going to say, though, that you can't start with East 9, just that you probably shouldn't. Like, if you are going to find an entry point into this series, either 8 or Celceta, even just going back slightly a little bit, 1 or 2 games, will help you appreciate 9 better, because 9 makes a lot of references, like more so than I've encountered before, to the previous East games, which are usually kind of almost Final Fantasy-esque, where they're anthologized in, standalone installments. But this one is actually kind of all about being a culmination of Adol's adventures up till now. So you get more out of it if you understand what those adventures were or know anything about it. You don't have to, but it certainly adds to your experience. So like I said, it's not that you can't start with 9. It's that I would recommend starting with maybe 8 and or Celceta first. At the very least, maybe 8 first. But it's very, very good. And it felt like, as a culmination, it's almost like the series might be getting ready to take a big next step with the next installment in 10 when that eventually comes. And it definitely is teed up for another game. I'll be working on my review. I don't know if I will get it up tomorrow. I would like to get it up tomorrow so I can just chill and play games without having a clock on it for at least the next week until I start trying to do my next big review.
Are you doing Strikers?
Yeah, Strikers. I was telling Jason before we started, I might try to do both Strikers and Bravely Default, but again,
are you out of your goddamn mind?
Am a little bit out of my goddamn mind. But what I might do to make it a little bit more manageable is only do a full review of one of them and do a first impressions review of the other one. Because Obelisk, we used to do a series called The First 48. So it's like, what are your first 2 days with a game like? So I might only do a full review because they come out 3 days apart and they're JRPGs and we don't get early review codes. So got to get on that hustle, basically. But yeah, I was very happy with East 9. I think I liked it better than 8. It is my new favorite in the franchise. The one thing I'll say, East doesn't do anything particularly better than any other JRPG. The combat isn't better, the visuals aren't better, the music isn't better, but it does a lot of things right. So it's just that kind of JRPG experience that makes me smile and makes me happy. It's very much like a happy place of gaming for JRPG fans. So definitely enjoyed my 42 hours with it. Might come back for the platinum at a later date. Not going to happen right now.
Understandable.
That is the one and only game I played. Who's next?
Moose, you want to go?
Yeah. Fuck. So I got 2 games last week. So I picked up Blue Fire on the Switch, action platformer, which I'm really enjoying. There's some, so it's like 3D platforming. You know, you got your typical attacks, all that stuff, and you get power ups, kind of like Metroid games. Like you'll eventually earn a double jump or whatever, or a triple jump, or some thundering out there. But anyways, so I like the game a lot. It controls really well. It's the controls are fluid. It's got an interesting story going on. The only real complaint I have is like there's not a lot of enemies around. So like I don't know if I'm just so OCD about like finding everything that I haven't been in like highly populated areas. So I don't know. We'll see. But it has like these, I forget what they call them, but they're like the shrines in Zelda.
Void.
In Immortals.
Void.
Void. Yeah, yeah. So you basically go in and it's just like platforming. Like there's 30 little shards out there that you have to gather in the little world, and then when you get to the end, you can touch the flame and collect your treasure. Which so far I have only received hearts for completing the voids. I haven't gotten anything else, and so I'm up to like 6 hearts, I think. I'm trying to complete one now, and it's frustrating. And it's a level 2. I'm like, I don't even want to know what a level 5 is like. Like, I think they go up to level 5 difficulty. I'm like, get out of here. But I'm enjoying the game a lot. I'm looking forward to playing more and maybe getting into like after I do this void, I think I'm gonna try and adventure a little bit more. And then if I come across another one, just kind of pass it by for a little bit to kind of experience the rest of the game. So check it out. It's I think $20.
Yeah.
On,
my complaint is the camera.
Yeah, Jason has been playing it.
It's a short person problem.
I mean, it can be an issue.
No, the main character is tiny, and the platforming is.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Do you want me to? They're short like you.
Did you want them to just?
No, the character's shorter, and it's not just jump to this platform. It's like jump to this one for like there's right in the one of the first rooms. There's that door. You hit the lever, and you gotta jump. And the camera though is not cooperative. Like you have to move it because there's no all the way zoomed out. So sometimes if you turn too quick, it follows right behind you, and then you're kind of stuck, and you're like, I can't see.
Yeah.
And then you got to waste time turning it back, and you're like,
I think there's camera options in the options menu, but I haven't messed with
sensitivity.
Them. Is that about it? Like it doesn't adjust like the snap to? Like,
yeah, I think if it's slowed on its turn, because some of the voids they're not that you have to go fast, but like the platforms move. And this was actually the first time I ever had to put the switch from handheld to dock. I immediately got the void done. It was the weirdest. Like I don't know. Maybe the bigger screen helped.
Yeah, I mean it could have.
But yeah, there aren't a lot of enemies. But maybe it's early.
That's what I was saying. Like I haven't even fought the first boss yet. I haven't fought a boss yet. I don't know how far you are. I know last time we talked,
you were a little further, but maybe it's once you get out of this.
Yeah, there might be a boss to like get out into more of an open world. You know, like you get out of this kind of tutorial area. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it moving forward with the gameplay. I mean, and like a lot of the gameplay looks like really cool that you can see that you can upgrade to later.
It kind of
the combat and stuff. So I'm kind of excited to see.
It looks like Hollow Knight meets Mario 64. That black and white, like.
All right, I could see that. Yeah.
There's a focus on the sharper colors, but it's got that Mario 64 where it's so expansive, even though the platforms you're on are right there, but like you see more.
Yeah.
And it does that thing from, is it from, it's one of the Zeldas where you hit a puzzle and it pauses the game and shows you what you open. I think it's, did Breath of the Wild do that? I know.
thought Ocarina of Time did that.
Remember, like you'd hit like
Yeah.
a gate, it would open, it would freeze frame.
And then it just like rotate and be like, this is what opened.
This
Yeah.
is where you're going.
Yeah.
Figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
And the timer starts.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable so far. I'll have to get further and make a full assessment.
Yeah. So I bought that Tuesday. Been playing that off and on, and then I got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser Fury on Friday. Been playing that, so like I fired it up, and I've never played. So I know I own Odyssey. I know I own the 3D All Star Collection, but one of those, the collection, I've played 2 of those games before. So technically, the last Mario game I put any effort into was Sunshine on the GameCube. It was the last Mario game that I ever played. Dude, I was sitting out there in the living room like laughing, like giddy laughing, because I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I was like, that's pretty funny. And then like that was just my reaction. I was like, man. So I played a little bit more of that tonight. Like I got done with work and took care of the dogs and was just like, I'll play some of that. And then I switched over because I was stuck in that void in Blue Fire to try and like get past that. So I've been playing those 2 games. I co-opted with our buddy Razzie Jason to get him further in the Chalice dungeons for Bloodborne. 10 tries on Amygdala for both of us. 10 tries, like combined, it was 10 tries. And I was like, this is not bad. I was like, better than the 50 it took me to do. But so did a little bit of that. And then last Tuesday, the final manhunt of the Division 2 for Season 4 dropped and just went ham on that. And a little disappointed in the ending but then like I saw I beat it and I didn't see the tweets that they're dropping content.
We're going to talk more about the Division later.
Hold, please.
Anyways, so beat that. And then I helped our boy Muffins beat it, and then Jeff and I did it today on my lunch break because he like messaged me. He's like, "Are you off for President's Day, or are you working from home, or do you have to work?" And I'm like, "Dude, I work for a real company. Like they don't give us President's Day off. Come on, man." So I was like, "But I'm on lunch, so let's do it." So we knocked it out, and it'll still get deleted. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep it on the hard drive. I might finish out the season. So like usually what they do is they'll do like the manhunt, and you can do that for the entire 3 weeks, I think it is. So you get the manhunt week. The next week you get the league week, which is usually just like you get six things that you can try and get a 10 out of 10 on, and you get 2 weeks to do that. And then the last week they do an event. And so I might just play it out for the league and the event, and then like at that moment just be like done, because if they're going to come out with stuff in the fall, I'm moving on to something else and I'll come back to it. I even told Jeff, I was like, man, we're gonna try and platinum it. Well, not try, we are going to platinum it, and then that'll probably be it probably won't be too long after that before I delete it. So that's actually been about it. Yeah, Blue Fire, Mario, Division 2, and Bloodborne. A little bit of Breath of the Wild thrown in there when I get not bored, but third playthrough. Jesus Christ, I need help. But anyways, getting my $60 worth.
Real.
I think you've gotten beyond $60.
I was talking to Jeff, and I think I might have been talking to you about it, Jason, but like trying to figure out the hours on that would be like insane, because like I had so many hours on my first playthrough, and then when I traded in my Switch to get the newer Switch with the better battery life and all that, like I lost all those hours. And now my Japanese account, which is my second and third playthrough, has more hours on my Switch now than my first account does. And I'm like, that's not right. But anyways, It'd be interesting to see how many total hours I've spent in that game. But that's about it. Jason, play.
So Blue Fire, Super Mario 3D World. I bought that. I didn't try Bowser's Fury, but the last Mario I played in full was Super Mario 3D for 3DS, I think.
The new Super Mario 3D?
Not. No, it was, or is it Super Mario 3D Land? No, it was one of the first ones for 3DS. I can't remember. I'd have to look. And I beat that to completion. I didn't play enough. I played one world in Odyssey. I think I like side-scrolling Mario more than the open world. Now I know 3D World is not. It's still open, but I think I like the level small. I like the smaller level, like contained level, versus the larger.
It's also kind of locked too.
Yeah.
So like in like Odyssey or even 360, like or not 360 in the 64, you can move your camera around a bunch to like see where you're going. Whereas in like 3D World, like you can only swing the camera out so far. It's because it's like you're supposed to be running left to right, not like looking over here. See what's
I like
there.
the whole finish the level. Oh, I didn't get 3 stars. I'm gonna go replay it. I like that versus massive. I mean, I had no problems with Odyssey, but so yeah, I played a couple levels, having a blast with that.
I too have not tried Bowser's Fury, but I think I want to beat the main game first.
Separate game. When I thought it was like something together, and then when you start the game, there's literally 2 title screens.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Michaela, I don't know if you knew that. So when you start, if you just push right or left, it's like 3/4 of the screen is the one title, and then 1/4, and if you push it, it slides the title the other way, and you can pick it. It's like a different game. I was like, huh. I thought it was something in the game. Like I didn't realize it was a different thing. But yeah, definitely having fun. Love Mario games. Someone doesn't have much experience with Mario games.
I have experience as a child.
Much experience.
I played the Mario. I played 3 on the NES. I played 64 on the 64. I still have my copy of Sunshine. Although technically all of that's me and my sisters because we were kids and you share everything. I've played Mario games. I just don't particularly get excited about Mario anymore because I'm dead inside. I don't know.
No, you are.
No, you are. Yeah, you are.
You live in New England.
You are.
Excuse you.
You're a Pats fan.
Not this year. I'm a Clemson fan. What are you talking about?
You're fair weather fans. It's all right. Anyways, as long as they're winning, right? Right, Jason?
No, as long as they play like a fucking team, but we don't need to go there.
I played so there's this mobile game I've always played, The Room. I don't know if either of you have heard of it. It's this puzzle. It's like an escape room type. And they released a new one, and I realized on Steam, and I was like, you know what? So I went back and I'm playing through the first one. They're like, it's these obscure, you're basically figuring out this like box. What's in the box? You have to get into it, and there's like different like you have to refract light one way and then like solve a puzzle to open another door. It's just it's like a, I don't know, it's a quick puzzle. Like sometimes you just need a brain teaser. Take a break from all the violence in the games. And then I tried, and thanks to Steam's generous refund policy, I don't have to worry about it. I tried Valheim. The hype was there, and I was like, I'm gonna try this. Forgot I hate crafting and building shit to survive.
I was gonna say, I've been hearing good things about it. Why would he return it? There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the crafting. in the building of shit.
No, I think it's the crafting and building of shit to survive.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Terraria, you remember
That's true. Yeah. I mean, you
the ridiculous house I built, which served no purpose other than being
a
not even,
ridiculous house.
yeah, it wasn't even aesthetically serve a purpose, but and it's not optimized. The game, like if you look at it, it doesn't look good. It's in early access, but it's not supposed to look like next gen. But like for something that looks like that, your computer chugs. It's like Doom on the PS4 base, where it's like the airport's going, rockets are about to launch.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, this is not good.
Yeah.
So yes, I refunded that after 31 minutes. Um, Steam actually tells you how long you played because they have to check. It has to be under 2 hours, so it's like 31 minutes. I'm like, yep. Yeah, you try. I bought and I started playing, and I hope this comes to consoles. Ender Lilies. It's a Metroid. It's a 2D. I don't know. It's a Metroidvania, but the art style is similar to shit. What's the Metroidvania you were playing that had the save problem, Moose?
Uh,
What the fuck?
I know what you're talking about.
I have it right here. Give me a second. Vigil.
A game that crashed.
Vigil.
Yeah.
Vigil. So it's got that art style where it's zoomed in, like everything looks larger in a sense.
Okay.
The whole thing is she can bind spirits to her, and you're this little girl, but when you attack, the spirits basically behind you swinging their badass weapon, and you can
Oh, nice.
you can have two equipped at a time, and you can switch between them. First boss I faced, definitely shades of Vicar Amelia.
Does that mean she screams a lot?
Well, it was this like this down, I don't know what to even call it, and halfway through the fight it just kind of transforms into this monster, and you're like, oh, so this is what we're doing. But it's got like Vigil, the side-scrolling dodge. You dodge through them to avoid the attack.
Okay.
So that's been fun. And then last but not least,
I was gonna say, before we move on, I could have swore that they said in their tweets, like announcing the game, that they were looking for like Q2 of 2021 for consoles. So I know, like, I think it was when they were talking about it coming out for PC, like coming out of either early access or it was actually releasing. They were like, we are targeting like Q2 of 2021 for consoles. So I mean, that'll be interesting.
I have it in my notes of like games to look out for, and I usually don't put PC only games in there, so there's got to be something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the Bloodborne type aesthetic. So something to look forward to if it hopefully comes to console. And then I've been playing a lot of Undermine on Switch.
I know.
It was so much fun.
I'm glad it's fun because I will pick it up eventually, just not now.
And you can get it soon on PlayStation 4 or 5. 4 or 5. They tweeted today. It was funny. They did the main character. Well, there's millions of main characters, but the character model on Thanos' body with the gauntlet, and it had Steam, Switch, and I think Xbox is on Game Pass, and it was the PlayStation logo dropping in as the last stone. It's a fun game. It's like Moonlighter meets. You basically you go into this mine and you have to collect gold, and you die, you go back with a portion of your gold. You can upgrade. If you find merchants, they'll be situated back at the hub, and you can upgrade, and then you keep going further and further. It runs great on Switch.
That was going to be a question.
Yeah, I had only played on PC before.
Mm-hmm.
Loads quick. So,
Nice.
and that's about it, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, there was some news.
Just a smidge.
Ubisoft, bunch of goddamn fucking liars. They said there was no more Division 2. They were done. Finished. Finito. And they announced more content coming in the fall. They're like, fuck you, Moose.
And next year. And that's the other part too.
It's next year
said-
too.
They said at the end of the in the fall and next year, and I'm like,
While they're also working on Star Wars, because Massive is going to be doing both, right?
small team, yeah, from Massive will be doing this, whatever it'll be. I could imagine the stuff in the fall will be like the not bite size, but the DLC, like the Warlords of New York. So I mean that could be something that's interesting. I mean, I enjoy playing the game, but I'm like to the point where it's like I gotta get back to Immortals. I gotta, I got some other things to chase right now, and I think it's perfect time for a break, especially after the ending that they gave us for the season. But then it's like you get that ending, and it's like, well, now that tweet makes sense. I'm like, fuck y'all, So, anyways.
You planned this the whole time, you bitch.
Well, so it has a good ending for the DLC and involving the seasons. It's just like where, there's no like where's it going from here, and it's not, and there's no like I thought there was going to be an awesome cinematic at the end, like detailing like what happened with, like kind of like set it up for like whatever. We don't know what's going to happen. They didn't give us any cinematic. It was just like it ended. We killed who we had to kill, and that was it. And I was just like, that's it. That's all we got. We did 4 seasons for this. And I was like, all right, well, you're getting deleted a lot quicker than I thought you were. So, anyways. But yeah. So it'll just be interesting to see what they do in the fall.
Well, they had Valhalla's had a launch revenue record. Phoenix has been selling hotcakes on the Switch. They were the #1 third-party publisher on Switch. And Legion selling faster than 2.
Also, I forget what the milestone was. I didn't put it in there, but Rainbow Six hit like a new 1 million player milestone. I forget what the number was.
Yes.
But this is all coming out of their earnings conference.
And they changed their 3-person like tactical game. It is now Rainbow Six Parasite because I guess they felt Quarantine was a poor choice of title.
That one got horrible reviews, didn't it?
It didn't come out yet.
It didn't come out.
It's not out.
I think the announcement was not well received.
It was one of those games that was supposed to come out this year. Like it was in that batch when they delayed like Phoenix and everything else. They postponed Rainbow Six Quarantine at the time into indefinite black holeness, and we still don't know when it's coming out. And then the pandemic happened, and their name no longer suited.
Well, actually, when they delayed it, it wasn't even Phoenix. It was still Gods and
Monsters. Yeah,
that's true.
But people would have confused it with Monster Energy because
Gods and Monsters, Monster Energy. Yeah, it's very similar sounding.
Completely.
I can see that.
It makes sense.
I'm sure like when they put out that announcement, Monster was like,
Monster's like, what the fuck is a video game?
No, they're not even that. They're just like, okay, like we appreciate it.
It's like we have a monopoly on the name Monster.
Oh, that's funny.
Nintendo gave us some more online games.
Couldn't even tell you what they are.
Exactly.
You can't. I heard they're like deep cuts. Well, so My theory is that they gave us these deep cuts that are like rare because they're still saving whatever else they're gonna give us like for later in the year. Because I mean, we should be hearing a Zelda anniversary announcement.
My theory is there's some guy sitting in an office somewhere alone in an office because, pandemic. And it's his job to oversee Nintendo Online free games. And he's like, okay, how do we really piss him off? Like,
I mean, that's true too.
games that no one wants. Let's go through the list. I need the Wikipedia list of games from 1985 to 1995.
Unless I'd be perfectly okay with crappy games if he's doing the old senior citizen home thing where he cranks the walls.
Oh, yeah. That'd be amazing.
He hands the next level up and goes, "These are the new titles." Wait, these? Totally random. Don't know what happened.
Yeah. That's what the bingo ball machine gave us.
Epic had their showcase. Kingdom Hearts is finally coming to PC. It's going to be an Epic exclusive.
People are mad that they're charging full price for these games, but like they had to make the ports. Like there is some development that goes into that. You could just wait for a sale to buy them because these games get very cheap very fast.
Does it include the DLC?
Yeah, like anytime they port anything, it's like you can even do like the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package, which is like 9 fucking games, and on console within a year of that releasing, it goes on sale regularly for like $25.
Right. No, what I'm saying is like that's kind of usually where it's like, okay, you can justify the $60, like as if it's the actual game plus the DLC.
Yep. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is technically the only one that technically ever had DLC because all the others kind of predate
DLC. Yeah.
But I mean, they are the final mix versions, which is what Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts, when it started on PS2, what it would do was it would release a new version in Japan first, obviously, that added extra bosses and content and stuff like that, and then it would get released everywhere else as the final mix version. So you did have to buy it again full price. Also, usually the people who are complaining about this now being a full price game are the people who are like, I already own this on like PS3, PS4, PS5, and now I have to get it on my PC. Why are you charging me full money? It's like, why do you keep paying for it?
Why are you buying games on like 40 different platforms? Dead cells.
Just wait for a sale. Calm your tits.
Yeah. But the other big game at the showcase, we saw screens of Axiom Verge 2. Yes.
And it wasn't confirmed for PC before, was it? It was just confirmed
No, it was just Switch. Yeah. That was during a direct last year. They announced it summertime, I think.
It was an indie direct last year.
Yeah. I want to say it was like the May or June one or something like that. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. So it's not surprising it's going to be on PC. I have a feeling, Nintendo's throwing him a lot of money. And so he'll just be like, put it out on Switch and PC, and then a year later throw it on the PS4 and
Switch
PS5
and
and
PC
Xbox.
seems to be the magic combo lately for indie games.
Well, that's because the market's not flooded like Xbox and PS4. So their game can get a little bit more exposure there.
I almost wonder if there's a development reason for it too, though. Like, is developing for the Switch easier if you're a PC indie developer than PS4, for example?
That's a good question.
And I don't know.
Although, the nice thing about the PS4 and Xbox One is now that they're like more like PCs to like develop for than, obviously the PS3 was a nightmare, but at least they're moving, in a direction to where they're easier to develop for or port, you know what I mean? Like just drag the files into a folder, drag them from the Switch over to the PS4 and it's done. Porting's done, I know it's not that easy. Now I know it's not that easy, but we're getting closer to that. You know what I mean? Like
just Control-Alt-Delete some shit and you're fine.
Yeah.
We saw a new trailer for Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Games are getting very hyped up.
It is. Every time there's a new trailer, I'm surprised how much like attention this game gets on social media because it's not really the type of game that usually sparks a lot of hype. But it is, and that's promising. I think that's good.
I think it's because of the gameplay and the way it looks. Like I think it looks really good. It looks really good. And it just like the character design, the way that the main character interacts with like his weapons and abilities is pretty freaking cool. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it does. I am going to try and keep the expectations low, because I don't want that to ruin it. But I think what is it? It's a North Korea. It's a Korean team that's doing it, or is it who's doing it?
Is it a?
It's Asian. Sorry,
It
I
is.
don't know.
It might be Chinese. I
don't know
don't.
if it's Korean or Chinese. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't think it would be North
Chinese
Korean.
developer Game Science.
Okay, my bad. Chinese developer. Okay.
Which
So, yeah.
I mean, China is a growing game development market.
Yeah.
They have a different home market. Like China obviously is huge for mobile games, also PC gaming because the console regulations is so strict there. Not like on the hardware itself, on the games too. But when you do get some developers starting to get like, look what happened to Genshin Impact. It is a growing market. Some people like Sony are investing more and more into it to help the games that are being developed in China get to a worldwide stage. I'd like to see that happen for this because I don't know that we have confirmation that it's coming to the West or anything like that. We just have a lot of hype.
Either. Yeah, we just have. I think you're right. I think it's just a lot of hype, and a lot of people are getting excited for it.
Yeah, and so it would be smart if a third party comes in, whether it be Sony or somebody smaller like a THQ or something like this, and throw some money at it to help.
THQ owns everything now.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco could step in and be like, we don't have Dark Souls 4, but
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sony though. If this is going to be on PlayStation, I don't know if we even know what platforms it's on right now, but if it is something that would be on PlayStation, I could see Sony getting their claws in it because they've been investing a shit ton between the China Hero Project, Genshin Impact, and other projects. They've been investing a lot of money into helping to grow that Chinese development market to an international stage.
Yeah. Be interesting.
Nintendo, being Nintendo, decided, hey, Bravely Default needs a release date. How about 2 weeks? February 26th?
Yes, 26th. I think, no, we knew the release date. They're just like dropping a random trailer.
Hey, it's coming out now.
Like, hey, look, we did marketing. It took us a minute.
I'm sure you have
Sony.
Exactly.
Like, hold my beer.
Right.
How about Ratchet and Clank, June 11th?
Right.
Like,
not
what?
even like that didn't even have like a announced date or anything. It was just a tweet.
I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they fucking did that. Like, Ratchet and Clank is one of their big PS5 exclusives.
And that's all you do is you just put out a tweet. There's no state of play.
If you think about it, though, they probably don't need the advertisement. People are going to Ratchet and Clank.
They don't, but I do. I want it.
I get that, but they saved all the money they saved. People are still
making a video. They could have just added they could have done a 7-minute, called it a PlayStation Direct. It's the trailer, but just also with like an intro, like voiceover. You don't even have to see the bitch on camera.
Yeah, but
damn.
Versus paying the intern to write the tweet. Or rather, not paying an intern to just tweet.
They can afford to make the fucking video a minute longer with a voiceover.
Times are tough. But
oh my god.
Ratchet and Clank comes out June 11th, and they showed the armor set from Going Commando, I believe.
And there's also, they announced the animation thing, which is technically not canon. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you guys see that?
Prequel. It's not canon. And then at first it was like only Canadian. Like you couldn't get it anywhere else. It's like, what? I'm so confused. Why are you trying to be like Nintendo and be confusing? Just
Like, come on, nobody cares about Canada.
so June. I don't think any of us predicted.
No, because they called it launch window, so we were all expecting like April.
Yeah, at the latest.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, they're still trying to get the system out to people, so it's a launch for somebody.
Well, I wonder if we'll see like a huge push of consoles from them. Maybe, you know.
I think they're
April or May.
literally trying to crank these out as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like they are getting them to people, but they are still getting scooped up by bots and scalpers. Although wasn't there a story about like scalpers getting fined really bad? You remember?
Mm-hmm.
But that was only in one country, I think.
Maybe the UK. I know the UK was cracking down on the scalpers.
It might have even been Germany or something like that. I forget.
No.
But yeah, so Ratchet and Clank, I am definitely picking it up, but it is the first game of the year that has an announced release date that I am not pre-ordering yet, because by June 11th, I hope to have a different address and I buy physical. So
Understandable.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Ratchet and Clank. I enjoyed the PS4 one a lot.
Yeah, it is a really good game.
So
That was a Plus game, right? At some point.
it was a PS Plus game a couple years ago. It's in the PS5 PS Plus collection that you get when you get a PS5.
Play it. Yeah, play it if you get a PS5.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
All the times. And it's also a Sony greatest hit, so it's already down to $20 if you don't have Plus.
Hell, I think I bought it for $20 the year after it came out, so it wasn't that long before it was dropped in price.
They're just fun games. They're really just
Yeah, with sheep rays and shit like that, random wacky weapons.
The disco ball rays, or like that one. That one's cool. The Digitron gun.
Also, I like that this one is like designed for. It's like the whole game is basically Sony saying, "Hey, look at what this fucking SSD can do." And that's
right.
What the game design is.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for news. Anything else? No?
No, you just reminded me when you said went with the Ratchet and Clank hold my beer to Nintendo type of thing. I did see a tweet this week that made me very happy. So Game Pass got a bunch. They've been adding a lot of JRPGs to Game Pass lately. Including FF12 recently this past week, went over to Game Pass, and the Game Pass Twitter account tweeted, "It's never actually the Final Fantasy, is it? Because there's a million of them." The Square Enix account retweeted it, and it said, "Hold my Cosmo Canyon," which is a drink from FF7R. We need to talk. It just made my day. But I also saw a rumor where somebody was like, Microsoft in talks to buy Square Enix, and somebody's like, "You dumbass, they're not trying to buy Square Enix because Microsoft Xbox not the place for JRPGs usually."
I was just gonna say that would kill all their games. I mean, they bought off. I mean, I'd be playing Phantasy Star Online 2 right now if it wasn't only on the Xbox.
If anyone was gonna buy Square Enix, it would be Sony, and I don't think that's gonna happen. Square Enix is gonna stay Square Enix. They're gonna be their own thing.
Yeah. I mean, what? All of one console sold in Asia for the Xbox? So.
Yeah, no. Japan is not the place for Microsoft.
Yeah. The whole Asian market isn't, but yeah.
Well, that about does it this week. Stay tuned next week for the choice of backlog challenge games.
This man, he out here trying to put games down that we put on the list. I have to edit mine to only one game.
I have to edit mine to continue to not include Persona.
I think I've been thinking about deleting the one that got picked and replacing it or not. Also, I had East Memories of Celceta in there, and I just played East 9, and I don't know that I want to go play another East right now.
Yeah, that's what's great about the list. It's a living list. Edit what you want to edit, you know.
And then in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about Foul Play.
Yeah.
I gotta play that. Luckily,
I totally forgot until today, and I was like, "That's not today, is it?"
Nope, we
I was
still
like,
got 2 weeks.
That's March.
We still got 2 weeks. We've been so prepared lately. It seems like it should be time already.
I know, right? So that'll be like a focus this weekend or something.
All right, Moose, take us out.
Bye.
At Story Route Zero, we have some cool friends who do some cool things, and I'd like to tell you about them. Phoenix Overdrive uses the power of games and gamers to help heal sick kids through the charity Extra Life. Phoenix Overdrive fundraises for Children's Miracle Network hospitals all year, every year, and the fund culminates in a 24-hour gaming marathon. Find out more about their events and projects online via Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive or on Twitter and Instagram at PHX_Overdrive. You can also join the Facebook group of Pawn Stars at facebook.com/groups/PO Nation in order to share and discuss all the latest in nerd culture. They've also got a podcast, Nerd Overdrive, which you can see weekly at youtube.com/Phoenix Overdrive. You can also catch it on Facebook Live or twitch.tv/PHX_Overdrive. That podcast is also published on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. You want merch? They got merch. Merch can be ordered from tinyurl.com/PHXODmerch, a portion of which goes to their fundraising efforts. Join the nation and be a hero to sick kids, as El Capitan Rey Osorio, Lee the Maestro, and Becky, the lovely queen of the guild, always say, #Rise Above. Thank you for listening to Story Route Zero. We hope you have enjoyed your time here as much as we've enjoyed having you. Once again, questions, concerns, complaints, pictures of pets, or favorite recipes can be sent to storyroute0@gmail.com. You can yell at us on Twitter at StoryRoute0. Rate us and review us on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you may have found us, as it helps with discoverability. If you'd like to hit us up individually, you can find Moose Cool at Sven, that's SVHENN on Twitter, PSN, Instagram, and of course Twitch, streaming games. You can find Jason Marshall writing at obelisk.co. You can also find him on Twitter at GimpyJ with 2 Y's at the end, as well as PSN, Instagram, and Twitch. He also has his own website, whereisthepausebutton.com. You can find Michaela Crescione doing all sorts of writing at obelisk.co, as well as on Twitter at RedXMaud. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me everywhere I'd like to be at infinite_rewind. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Twitch, that's PSN, and I also have my own website, infiniterewind.com. Be sure to check us out at all the places. You are always welcome, and you will always have a seat waiting for you on this ride. Thank you for listening, but for now, it's back to the real world for us. So we will see you on the next one.